Hail to Adam AF, the best comics day show Saturday mornings, Arch City Comics. Great show, topical stuff.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these things simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 This is the Weekend Woke Up Call. Good morning, Arch Villains. Welcome to the world-famous Arch City Comics. This is the Weekend Woke-Up Call. Get woke. I am Adam Maya. Joining me is my man, Drew Ish.
What's going on, brother?
We also have my co-host supreme, Simon Civ Potier. Yesterday was his birthday. Wish him a happy birthday, even though it's a day late.
Happy birthday, Simon.
Well, thank you, and good morning, CG.
It's always great when you turn 23, right?
Yeah, especially with all those experience levels that I got there. Dude, I feel pretty much invincible.
We also got our guest of honor this morning. We've got David Feed of Red Eyes, live now on Indiegogo. We also have Doc Hoegberg himself. He's got Tilt on Indiegogo. Give it up.
Oh, wait.
We also should have Adam Post here, but he is nowhere to be found.
I saw him in the chat.
Yeah.
He was in the chat. He
went
disappeared.
missing?
He went
Ran
missing. I think the Red Curtains ate him alive.
Somebody reached from behind the curtain and grabbed him. That's what happened.
I think so. I think the zombies came out of his book and got him.
The stripper zombies that hang
Stripper
out.
zombies.
Zombies that hang out behind his
They
curtain.
want the real zombies that came out of the graveyard. They wanted revenge. They heard about his book. You know, it's like Steven Spielberg never goes swimming in the ocean anymore because he knows the sharks are out there and knows they're waiting for revenge.
Yeah, that book. I mean, just tell you I've heard some people, talk smack on the book and whatever, and I'm like, you just have to expand your vision, because let me tell you, I have read a lot of fucking manuscripts. I've read a lot of fucking stuff to.
Read a lot of stuff.
I've read a lot of shit, but I was actually I'm trying to get the word storyboard out of my mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Okay. I was wondering what you were trying.
Help!
What
I gave you a little push.
Yeah, no, it's early, man. It's fucking 7 o'clock here. God damn it!
Well, it's 4 o'clock in the
we're still on our first coffee, and
Yeah,
out
give me
the
a break.
bed.
Let me stumble on my words. Okay, so no. Anyway, but the book, the first one, will make a fantastic movie. The subject matter, the fucking the setup, the whole thing is like storyboards like that could be like the epic movie pitch. That first one itself. I mean, I've read so many storyboards. That one would actually probably have sold a movie. Right now, no, because they're not making movies in Hollywood right now because they're coronavirus is locked.
Yeah.
Hey, Adam.
The beard flu has locked everybody down. So.
Thing I really love about that comic is that he's got, the extremes in terms of, personality and trying to survive. One character trying to be, super compassionate. The other, character doesn't give a shit about anybody, and she's going to do whatever it takes to survive. And I mean, it's just, he really, the writer for that really, knocked it out of the park, in my opinion.
Are we not talking about College of the Dead?
Yes, we are.
Oh, we are. Oh,
I'm sorry. Are we on to a new topic? My bad.
No, I'll be completely honest. I stopped listening like 5 minutes ago.
Hey, do you guys want to see some of the sketch cards I'm working on for the free sketch card for Blood Hunt?
What a silly question. Of course we do.
Yes, we do.
Wait, hold on. Let me make you big. Enlarge.
Very nice.
Hell yeah.
Oh, nice.
And you're really going ham on the ink on those free sketch cards.
Yeah, I'm having fun. Like this one is just I cut out the silhouette with the black. Then I go in. Then I go in and I cut it out.
Are you using liquid paper for the signature?
Yeah, it's white out. Yeah.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah.
Nice. Really like the one where you're looking down the barrel of the gun at an angle there. That's
like
really
this is not white out. Like I leave the space out, but the signature is white out. Then I go in and I put a little to give it that little extra effect.
You know, it'd be cool just for experiment. You should try one, Sim. Just actually like get like black construction paper. You know what I mean?
And draw on the white thing.
Yeah, and then lay down the liquid paper, and then when the liquid paper dries, sketch on the liquid paper.
But I did something similar for my page breakers in hold on, in Blood Hunt.
I would just love to see that because it would be like like a media. It's a different kind of sketch card.
I did something like this. This is going to be my page breaker, and
I mean, because if that worked and it worked well, you laid down the liquid paper and then you sketched on the liquid paper. You know what I mean? Because then you pick any medium at all. Because you can lay liquid paper on virtually any medium whatsoever. So if you were able to do that, that would end up looking fucking super sweet.
Oh, that's cool.
This is what I did. This is what I did for the chapter breaks.
Okay, that looks
that
awesome.
cross hatching is fucking a lot of little work for a sketch card, motherfucker. It's insane, dude. How long did that sketch card take you? Come on, seriously.
That's not a sketch card.
That's not a sketch card. That's a page, but that's a chapter break.
Oh, okay, that's a page. I got you.
Yeah.
We're looking at sketch cards. You see, it's still too early.
No, sketch cards can take me between like 15 minutes, maybe even less.
How much did it take you to do that page breaker or the chapter breaker page?
Chapter breaker?
Yeah.
I don't know. An hour?
Sim doesn't count. Sim doesn't count time.
No, I don't. I don't know. I just fucking do it. I can. To me, it's like I could spend 2 hours on something, and I think it's just an hour, and the other way too.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Like an hour.
Seems like Tommy Chong in the first movie Up in Smoke. It's all like you gotta watch. Nah, man,
that's pretty accurate.
Nah, I don't know what you mean.
I'm not into time, man.
What's a day in a week?
Jesus, I know we're supposed to stay off topic on this show, but we've
a Monday?
Never even come close to a topic yet. First of all, let's look over at the chat. Who we got with us? We got Lothar D. Good morning, hail to you. We have Mitchell as well. Hail. We got George Peter Gassis hanging out. Hail all, and a fine morning it is. Now on to the day of scum and villainy. That is accurate, sir.
Yeah, George, I'm gonna be hitting you up in the DM after this show, man. So
we got Cider Hype wishing Simon a happy birthday. Yonofui as well says, Adam, now you work for free. I always worked for free. We got Skits Comic as well, and Ted Lavin. Hail and good morning.
Ted.
Hail to the Comics Gate.
When you're talking about the hours and the days and not counting them, I think that as an artist with this whole thing of the Corona beer, it's becoming so obvious how some people
Sam,
are like, yeah, nothing has changed for me. Like, what, lockdown? Well, no.
Sam, you doodling this morning? You sketching?
I'm always doodling.
I want to make a suggestion for your doodles this morning. Is that okay? Can I do that? Is that all right?
You could try. See if it inspires me.
I would love to see. I would love to see Comicsgate rebranded from the negative imagery and like actually like be a gate that is opening up for people who are trying to come into the comics world. Can you think of like a way to draw like some kind of like welcoming looking golden gate that's like open to comics world?
So you want a welcoming mat?
Yeah, that might work. man.
Essentially, that's what he's asking for.
Something like that we could like just start like smearing around Comicsgate as just a way to rebrand.
Okay, how about like you see somebody there, just a pair of balls, and it goes grab a Nor.
So you want
Welcome
whatever you want to draw, man. Whatever you want to draw. I was just like trying to like spur some positivity with the the label here, but that's whatever you want.
I like the grab an oar, aka my balls.
Hey, like Drew said, we're still waking up, brain not functioning full capacity yet.
Exactly.
That's very true. Speaking of brains not at full capacity, and since it's the Good Morning Woke show, I found this meme earlier this week, and I thought this was just way too accurate.
Yeah.
So President Trump says, "Good morning." And then here's how 12 news outlets covered the story. Fox News: Trump unveils plan to make mornings great again.
Morningers.
Huffington Post says, mornings are sexist. Here's how. CNN, can you believe what Fox News said about this? OAN, glorious leader Trump causes sun to rise in East once again. Salon, mornings are racist. Here's how.
Yeah, they are.
From Snopes, fact check, false. MSNBC, do you know who else has mornings? Russia. The Daily Wire, Trump destroys libs with these two little words. Washington Post, family of late General Soleimani are unable to have a good morning thanks to Trump. Savage.
Oh my goodness.
The New York Times, mornings are better in communist China.
There you go.
That's not fair. It should say North Korea.
It should. You're right.
Yeah.
Somebody should change that. From Vice, I combined 12 prescription drugs and slept with a hooker to experience why mornings are transphobic.
What the hell?
Oh my goodness.
And from the B, AOC doesn't even know how to spell good morning. What an idiot.
These are great. These are great fucking exaggerations. The only one that I would stick my tongue out is Snopes, because Snopes isn't they're nothing but a fucking they're an actual just fact check resource. I mean, the rest of them are actually
Whoa, no. Snopes has been documented a great deal of liberal bias on Snopes. Not always. When there is bias, it tends to lean to the left on them.
Well, okay. The reason why everybody tries to call it left-leaning bias is because the bias is based on things like scientific fact and that kind of stuff, and it sounds like the same thing a lot of people use on the left, because the left deals with the people that, like, if you're gonna separate the audiences and do an analysis. I mean, I'm a marketing guy, so like demographics are like important to me. Like understanding why people respond to all this shit is stuff that I actually study like regularly.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on is you actually have people that are separated by a lot of different things, like areas of understanding. Like the urban people don't talk to rural people, and they don't understand each other because they have completely different worlds. So even though a lot of the stuff between them are very, very similar, but their perception of the world is very different. And then the news media has capitalized on this, trying to lock down their audiences by sensationalizing everything to the extreme. But when it comes to Snopes actually has been accused of being conservative sometimes. They've actually been they've been accused of being liberal. The thing is that they have completely different contributors from all kinds of different political sources, but but the stuff that goes into there has to be fact checked to be accurate. So the words that they choose in their fact check may seem liberal sometimes because they're the liberal hot point words, but they're actually the right words to use in that particular instance. So I know that's a fucking snoozing on me. Whatever, man. I'm just saying that the fact check sites, you know what I mean? The actual fact check sites are actual fact check sites. You know what I mean? Now you may find in the advertising or in the commentary or an article that someone wrote that's unassociated to a fact check, those will lean certain ways for sure.
I gotta at least take issue with the last thing you said there, because you're kind of making it sound like fact check sites are only that. If you think you can't spin a fact check into being biased one way or another, I got to disagree with that. I mean, I've just, I worked for an organization where we were on the receiving end of a Snopes fact check, and they got it wrong, and we called them on it, and they never changed it. It's, you know, you can certainly spin a fact check in, you know, a way. And the thing I don't like about fact checks, and a friend of mine wrote about this a while back, is that fact checks, you know, are kind of a way to try to shut down debate, I think, you know, because in any debate, you always have, there are always facts, and some are relevant, some are not. And you can always, you know, spin it one way or another.
The difference between a lot of people will associate opinion to fact, and if something is more opinion than fact, then it shouldn't be fact checked.
Yeah, but anytime you have a fact, you have an opinion about it.
Right.
That's the thing. It's, you know, that's why I have a problem with the people arguing or this biases. Everybody has biases.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm biased. I'm biased with chocolate because I'd rather have dark chocolate than milk chocolate.
What a European thing.
Well,
yeah,
it's good for your heart.
What I mean about all right, what I mean about fact checks is I'm not trying to say that like all the fact checks are flawless. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But fact check sites, like sites that are actually dedicated to being fact checkers, you know what I mean? If they have, like, if somebody can come to them and actually prove that their fact checking is wrong, then they can be exploited. And if you could, like, say if like the extreme right media finds that an obvious, like, fake, you know, fact check, a false fact check, an obvious one that can be proven, you know what I mean? That your argument to them probably was, like, maybe could have been staged differently to you know what I mean, to get them to change their mind. So it depends on the details, you know.
Power corrupts. Don't rely on just one place to fact check your shit.
Yeah. Well, never
question everything.
Only morons rely on one source, because that basically you're giving your whole thought process to that source if you rely on
well,
sorry.
I mean, if being discredited really destroyed things to that extent, the New York Times would have gone under a long time ago. You know, I understand what you're saying, and yeah, but I mean,
the New York Times
well, I mean, they would have lost their audience a long time. I mean,
I know, right, Chris?
Will stick with you, and you really have to go a very, very long way in terms of making those kind of errors and mistakes, I think, before, you know, being discredited really pushes you under. But I mean, look, we're going to have to agree to disagree here, I think. I understand what you're saying; they're good points, but sorry.
Life is life.
George Peter Gatsis has a suggestion for Sim. He says, a gate with a halo over it.
Hell yeah.
Kino Subway says, Adam likes balls.
Of course he does.
No shame in that, I don't think.
Yeah, you never claimed otherwise, did you?
No, not once ever. So I had this other video that I found on the twatters that's been going around. This got me weak, man.
It got you this morning?
I seen this the other day, and I couldn't stop laughing at it. So I wanted to share with everybody so you could share. And I feel like we need some laughter after that weird ass discussion we just had. Yeah. I had no idea.
You guys know.
Yeah, next conversation we're talking about taxes.
No. Okay. I may not come to that one.
Let's go! We're going back.
We're coming back.
No, I'm not going anywhere. Go away. Go with it. No, I'm staying
we're going
here.
now.
No, you can go.
No, we're going back now. We're going back right now.
That one was the funniest. That guy's having a heart attack.
Was someone pointing a baseball bat at the fucking hippie person?
They were. They were.
The bus driver just looking in the rearview mirror is all he's doing.
Yeah, he's like, "What's going on back there?"
Yeah, he's probably in on it. Come on, the driver has to be, because they had to set up that girl there.
Yeah, probably before they make an accident or something.
We got Vic King in the chat. He says, "Hail panel, happy birthday, Sim, you sexty bastard."
Oh, I'm a backstage.
3D Robin says, "I was gonna wish Sim a happy birthday till I heard him sing 'Life Is Life.'"
Well, I'll say thank you, Tweety Robin. Hey,
I'd take it anyway.
I was trying to break the conversation into something, you know.
And we were talking about news sites and fact-checking sites and
grabbing balls and shit.
And grabbing balls, of course.
Yes.
Mr. E, do you have like stock in some sort of a fact-checking website that you're so
No. I
actually
just have I have a real issue with the dissemination of false facts and false logic. I mean, I love opinion. Everybody's welcome to their opinion, but we should all have a linear set of actual facts.
Yeah, and he also
and then
suffers from internet OCD.
Now the way that you discuss something, there's two ways to say the same thing sometimes. You know what I mean? And you know that is a problem out there. They should try to say things that doesn't lean left or right. You know what I mean? And but I have an issue with people that try to spread false facts. I see it. I see it fuck up people's lives for real. So I mean, it kind of like hurt our country and separated our fucking citizens dramatically. You know what I mean? I fucking don't really lean on either side of the argument, but I really lean heavy on the fucking that facts should be the basis of all discussion.
Yeah,
you know
like 44 is the new 22.
Right. It's like, oh yeah. Yeah, I'm 7'2" and I'm 200 pounds of real muscle. You know what I mean? It's like you know, people starting to like buy more into propaganda and bullshit these days, and it makes me sick because that's the path towards the destruction. That's the path towards.
Adam, I spent all my same subject techniques. We're done.
Okay.
If you study like what happened to Germany from World War I to World War II and the rise of Hitler and all that kind of stuff, there's a lot of parallels to what's going on right now as far as information and dissemination of information and the trust of facts. And you know what I mean? It's really ugly where we're going right now if we don't, like, as a society, start requiring some honesty and some integrity in what's going on around us.
Damn it, Drew! This is supposed to be a lighthearted show, and you keep
David. I heard you have a book.
You're bringing Nazis in World War II propaganda. What the hell, man?
Let me refill my coffee, and then I'm gonna fucking refill my fucking smoker, and then maybe things will.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Thank you, Kino Subway, for posting the link. I appreciate it.
The link to what? You have a book too?
Tilt.
What's
yeah,
Tilt?
and actually, on that note, we are going to take our first commercial break, and we're going to look at Tilt.
What is Tilt? That's by whom? Who's on that book?
Can I share my screen? Because I got like a 5-minute pitch I can give you.
Oh, sure. Yeah. That takes the load off of me.
What? But you like the load on you, I thought, Adam.
Shut up, Drew. I thought you were getting coffee. What are you doing?
I got my coffee, bitch.
Alrighty, this is Tilt.
Yo, dude, he's playing with the cream at this point.
Well, I had to save some for Adam.
And where are you pulling your vapor out of too? What are you putting in there?
Well, I live in California, and we can smoke weed.
How many scoop sugar?
Yeah.
So I got some really, really diggity dank that I'm loading into my tote, and I'm toking the sneak.
Hey, we got a last man here. He says, I sneezed and ruined our society.
Oh.
So tilt.
So tilt, yes. Back
tilt.
to
all righty. I'm
the subject at hand.
$3,000 fixed goal. I'm at 87% funded now. If at the end of this show I could be like right around 90%, that would be totally awesome. But I appreciate any backing that I get. Let's see here. All righty, this is the standard cover, and this in the middle here is the main character, Jennifer Poehler, and she has the ability to make the kings, queens, and jacks come alive to sorry. She has the ability to make the kings, queens, and jacks in a deck of cards come alive. And what you see here is the Queen of Hearts, the King of Hearts, and the Jack of Hearts. So why does she have that power? Well, it's because of these guys right here. They are mobsters. The guy in the middle is Johnny Ricca, the head mobster. Two guys, one on the left is Jack Tessio, and the other guy is his brother, Marco Tessio. They are mob hitmen.
Good mob names.
Yeah. Thank you. And oh yeah, the elevator pitch here is this is superheroes meet the Sopranos. So if you'll notice, Johnny Ricca here looks a fair amount like Tony Soprano, and that's not an accident. We did model him after Tony Soprano. Here the mobsters are murdering Larry Poehler, Jennifer's dad, and after that they are out to get Jennifer. In the spirit realm, Larry is begging a spirit to give his daughter a power to protect her, and the spirit is willing to do it, but only for a price. First, Larry doesn't want to do that, but he finally agrees, and the price is that Jennifer has to go out and use that power to get rid of, eliminate the mobsters who murdered her dad. Here we see the first time that she realizes she has that power. She basically has to throw the card, the face card, to the ground. Here she's flipping cards into a hat, and she misses. And the Queen of Hearts comes out, and Jennifer falls, basically faints, as I think most people would. And here is the first time that they off a mobster. This is Johnny Ricca's driver. His name is Carmine. Well, I really like what my artist Marcos Lima did here with the jack kind of coming out of the card here. The card expands and flips up to release the character. And as you can probably guess, that is not water trailing the axe in the final panel there. Okay, just to let people know, this is a 32-page comic. This is issue 1 in a 3-issue storyline. And I currently have 22 pages finished. Inked, colored, and lettered. We are up to almost 28 pages colored, and that probably means that by about this time next week, I'll have 28 pages fully finished. And my goal here is to be able to get this to the printer right after the campaign ends. It ends in about, I think, was it 19, 20 days?
You got 19 days left, yep.
Yeah, and so that I can get it in people's hands as quickly as possible. I know I said August. I think July is more likely, assuming that, all this coronavirus, Mexican beer, Mexican beer virus calms down. And with some luck, you might even have it in your hands by May. But by June.
I was going to say, well, it is May.
Yeah, by June. All righty. Here's some of that nice non-approved body type. There's a fair amount of that in the comic book. A couple of the perks. There's a standard cover. There's also the variant cover, which is a House of Cards with various characters
do we see
on them.
in there?
Yes, we do. There is a pinup drawn by my colorist Lenore King. She kind of went with a horror motif here. And there's also going to be a deck of cards, a 54-card poker deck, and this is what will be on the back of the deck of cards. The various tiers, you can just go straight digital if that's what you want. More people are kind of doing that. Not very many. It's kind of like, comic books are like boobs, as Stan Lee said. You like that, great to see on a screen, but you'd rather have them in your hand. I'm
going to be stealing that.
Yeah, some people want digital. Okay, hey, you have that option. Then you can get just one physical copy with either the standard cover or the variant cover. Those are $13 each. The two other perks, the pinup and the add-ons, the pinup and the deck of cards are add-ons, And then you can go Full House, which is 2. This has been the most popular one. 2 physical copies, the one with the variant cover, one with the standard cover. And as you go up the tiers here, I lower the prices of the add-ons. So you can, at this one, you can get the 2 physical copies plus the digital copy plus the pinup and the deck of cards for a total of $30. And I think you're going to have a hard time finding a better deal than that in most Indiegogo comic, campaigns. And then I have one of these left. This is where you get drawn into issue 2. In this one, you'll be the bodyguard of the head mobster, Johnny Ricca. You'll get drawn into 2 pages. You will get to kill some of the other characters. And then you will suffer a gruesome death by having a dagger thrown into your eye. So there's one of those left. And I have lowered the price by 25%. And anything else? No, that's about it. Here's just a little more art here, and here are the first time the Queen show up. Again, more that nice non-approved body type. And this is one other quick thing here. Jack Tessio thought that he was going to become a made man. Here he is finding out that he's been passed over, and he's very upset about it, and he will that will have repercussions down the road. So, 19 days left. I'm at 87%. So, if you have any questions, fire them off in the chat, or you can always reach me at @doc_hog. I'll be happy to answer them. And it really all comes down to the customer. I'm going to be sure to treat you very, very well. If you get something, it's in the mail. If it's even a little bit damaged, you just let me know. I will replace it as quick as I can. So again, it's very much all comes down to the customer. And that's my pitch.
Awesome. I gotta agree with Vic King here in the chat. He says Doc has a winning concept here, very unique.
Thank you, Vic. I appreciate it.
I really want to fish.
You really want to fish, huh? Okay, well, I tell you what. When I get my campaign funded and I get the money, we'll get you a nice little fish.
Well, that's a nice up your sleeve.
That's a nice stretch goal.
Get Doc to get a fish.
I'll get a fish.
Let's see. We got Daddy Dude or Pops Culture. Hail, brethren. Good evening from Tokyo. Good evening to you as well, sir.
Oh.
Good to have you here. Nice to see you.
One day we'll go visit you there.
Kino Summer says, "Oh no, a drawn-in perk. I must resist. Might pick up that 2-pack for $20 though. Yeah, you got this is a good, affordable comic book right here. And I think the digital tier is a good call with international shipping being what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That way you can get the people over by David.
But it's like I've been saying for a while too. It's like most people, right? I know it's hard. It's hard to comprehend, but there's people that really do prefer digital. I know. I barely believe it, but there's actual people that want a digital copy. They don't want a physical book. They see it the opposite way as us. They see it as a burden that takes room.
Mm-hmm.
They can just keep it in their thing. So
I prefer the physical. I actually supported this one. And I also bought the deck of cards, and I want to have it in my hands, definitely.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it very much.
Most people want the physical, but we cannot neglect that there's actual market for digital.
The other thing is it's very cheap to have it digital. Your margins on those are going to be pretty high, and you don't have any real shipping costs either. So
just take off
I think it's a mistake when people don't have them. But
if there wasn't a market for digital, there would be no Comixology.
There's no shipping, and just take off the printing price off of it. Like take off a $5 from the actual printing book, and people will pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no production. Yes, there's production of the book, but don't charge. Take off the price of shipping and the printing.
I mean, I've had 8 backers at that tier at $4. That's $32. That's 10%, or I'm sorry, that's 1% of my campaign. I mean, that's as you know, it's a grind, and every little bit helps.
I've sold like 30 something copies of digital book, and right now I'm at $20 the book, digital.
Blood Hunt.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's something that you can. I mean, like I often have this discussion with people because I don't do digital in my campaigns, and I've often considered like trying it and doing it, but the philosophy in my mind is that I'm actually trying to crowdfund the creation of the books. You know what I mean? Because like usually before I even start my campaign, the files are all done and ready to go. I mean, I have my stuff done. You know what I mean? So it's like it's like I'm working towards the books. The whole thing is about creating the books. You know what I mean?
Have some backers backing the physical book and backing the digital tier too, just because they want to give you an extra little.
I understand, but I mean, there's other things available they could back. They could get a slightly higher tier. They could do an add-on. There's other things that if what they want to do is actually give me money, they can get more from it. I just personally, think that having the digital out there.
It's going to be out there anyways.
Yeah, well, people always say that, but it's not always true.
It's a lot of work.
A lot of work to scan in a book at a high enough quality to meet a digital.
I'm scanning the last page as we speak.
What's that?
Yes, I'm scanning the last page as we speak.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, you'd have to destroy the book to be able to scan it because it's perfect bound. You'd have to totally tear it up. You know what I mean? And then you would and then the digitals don't. I don't know. Digitals are cool.
Yeah,
I
but according to that, they're going to destroy the
PDF
book. They're
makers on your phone.
And destroy one. I mean,
yeah.
Why is everybody so argumentative this morning? Jesus,
because it's the morning woke up show, dude.
And I think everybody's had too much coffee. I know I've had about 3 cups already, so I think we're
I'm not trying to be argumentative. I was actually just trying to make a point that everybody's got a different opinion about digitals. And then there's an argument for both ways. I mean, obviously, you could say, yeah, we want to get them the story. So like have the digital available. We can make money on it. You can charge $5 for it. It's just extra. You can charge $20 for it and make them, like
all I said was you cannot, what I said is you cannot ignore a market that exists. Right. Like I hate digital, but you cannot ignore.
I think you're very correct. I think we're all correct on this. The thing, because we all have different opinions about it. There's really no right or wrong way. It's just that me personally, I don't want to have the digital out there until I like put it through something like Comixology, because eventually my book is going to, be like in second printing. And that book at that point, I'm going to actually have it available on all the resources I can, places like Amazon. I'm going to try and get it into Barnes and Noble at that point. You know what I mean? It's not.
No, I think everything you're making is a valid point. I mean, I just go back to the Stan Lee quote again about it's better having it in your hands, and I prefer solid copies. But every so often, I mean, there is a campaign where I'm kind of looking at the comic and I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want to back this, but if they have a cheap digital version, I'll take that risk. Now, not yours, Drew, not yours. Okay, I got the physical copy and I really enjoyed it. And
I'm glad to hear you enjoyed it, man.
Certainly not Blood Hunt either. I went with the physical copy on that. But and the other thing is, between $13 and $4. There are just some people who aren't going to back it at the $13 level, but they will buy it for $4. And, you just, again, Drew, with all due respect, you might be missing out on some of those customers.
Well, the thing is, you're right. I could be turning away $5 customers and stuff like that, but it's just, at the same time, here's the
why do you say $5?
On that point, let me point the argument that I told Sim. Okay, so there's 2 ways to look at that. So, and this is how I evaluated it when I was thinking about it. Is okay. So like you have you're missing people that will back. You're missing those sales that will be the $5 or $10 digital sales, right? But then those people who are just buying it to show support, you know what I mean, or just checking it out. If that wasn't available. Right. There's some people who wouldn't buy anything. You're correct. But there's people who would buy a bigger tier to support you. but they choose to buy the lesser tier to support you because it's available. So in a way, you may be gaining sales, but you may be losing dollars that might equal or greater those dollars that you're gaining by having that available first as the support tier, as the lowest support tier available.
I mean, that's very possible. I mean, I've gotten, like I said, $32 out of it. And if you're right, you know, if I didn't have that tier, but some more people had backed it and I'd gotten, say, $40 out of those 2 people, let's say out of those 8, 2 people had backed it at the $20 tier, you know, just not factoring in the printing cost right now. You're right. I'm out some extra money.
Right.
Now, whether or not that happens, I don't know, but there's certainly, you know,
it depends what you're charging for your
Right.
digital as well, because I'm not losing money when somebody's buying digital. I'm actually making the same
So-
type of money.
But see, the thing is like I said, none of us are wrong on this. You know what I mean? None of us are wrong because there's so many different ways to look at it, and there's no way to tell beforehand. And then it's not like you can do the campaign in 5 different ways to compare how it turned out. Because even if you did like it this time on this campaign and then on a different campaign, there's so many different factors involved. There's no way to tell how it would be because it's not the same campaign at the same time done both ways. There's no way to measure what the real would be. So we're all correct.
Well, I think that more eyes on your campaign is also a good, valid point, no? But
Well, more eyes on the campaign is always essential. Everybody's got to have as many eyes as possible.
more eyes on your comic, on your actual product. In the end.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that yes and no. I mean,
to get it
you know,
out there.
Yeah, yes and no. There's arguments against it, but I definitely am getting it out there. It's just about how and putting a value to it. Like right now, you know, the physical copies of my book that people get, you know, are going to be increased in value, and it's like a hotter item if the digital isn't out there. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's definitely true.
But
No?
there's
Like, if you
also-
don't
if
have
there's-
digital, that
But there's also the problem of there's no value if there's no demand.
Well,
no, but there's demand.
You create demand by putting it out there. So the more people are aware of it, the more people want it. The more people want it.
Yeah, but now we're talking about circulating piracy. So I'm you know, it's like if that's going to happen, it's going to get. I think that my digital would be seen by more people as a pirated product than as something I released.
I am pro pirate. I like pirates.
Hard.
Hey guys,
every kind.
I'm being called by the kid. I'll be right back, but I just want to say I just got another backer. Thank you very much.
Yeah, right on.
2640 already. I don't know if I'm not going to reveal who it was unless they want to reveal themselves in the chat. I don't do that. I protect my customers.
I'm pretty sure I know who it is.
But I just wanted to say thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I will be right back.
Sopranos with superheroes. Back tilt.
What's
This
up,
is
Postman?
me in this
Gentlemen.
conversation right now.
Gentlemen, ladies, how you guys
I
doing?
love that. This is funny.
Yeah, I know, dude. We've been trying to like.
What happened?
What was that?
That's hilarious. You guys haven't seen that? The cops
They
got
ran away.
spooked
Oh, by what? They don't
by
show
the
you?
scream.
By a scream.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're in a
okay.
cemetery. They're checking something out. They hear a big ass fucking scream, and they run like little fucking girls.
Okay, that's the right thing to do.
Are they police officer or security?
Yes,
guards?
they're cops, security officers at least. Yeah,
They look like
armed.
state troopers.
They're armed. They're fucking carrying weapons.
I feel so much safer now.
Kino Subway says, I realized last night that I forgot one of my guns when I
Rust.
moved into my new house and left it in the old house. Went there
Wow.
and found it. Now it's got rust all over it. Got to give TLC to my baby.
Good. Wow.
Yeah, rust on a gun is not safe.
Oh, dude, that guy has 200 rifles and guns and shit. So it's okay. You know you went to get to your lost baby.
All right, we got Drew Love. We know
What's
who
up,
Dr.
man?
Drew is. What up, Doc?
That Dr. Drew thing is that whole doctor element in fucking is just how did that get in there? I am not a, you know, I'm gonna have to go get like a doctorate in something. You know, I think I
Well,
can get a doctorate
Captain-
in metaphysics online.
I can get your doctorate in divinity if you want. I have a
Oh,
connection.
you know what? That I can get one in metaphysics from the same place I got my my ordination. Actually,
Universal Life Church. Yeah.
Yep.
Drew,
I'm
Drew and I
like,
can
hey,
marry people. That
search
should
me, I'm there.
scare the fuck out of all of you.
Yep. No, that's seriously. No, this is no joke. I actually am.
I know. I have a clergy pass I can use for my window for parking.
Yeah.
Yes. If you've got $25, you can be
Exactly.
shady like me and Drew.
So
Yep.
anything you
We're
want to add?
ordained.
Doc?
So we got Reverend Adam there down there in the corner, and Reverend.
Hail, Adam.
Hey, Doc, how you doing?
I just
Anything
had to
you
go
wanna
wipe.
add, Doc,
I just
here?
had to go wipe a bum, but I'm doing good.
All right.
Anything else you want to add on Tilt?
My 4-year-old.
So we're getting close to 11, and I know you have to leave soon. Anything you want to add on Tilt?
Not really. I think I made my entire pitch. Just that, I'm very appreciative of every backer. I'm now actually at 88% of the way there with 19 days to go. Actually, a lot better shape than I thought I would be in. And thank you to everyone who has backed it. And I guess the last thing is my business model is I like I said, I've got 22 pages complete. I should have about 28 by this time next week. My model that I'm trying to develop is be able to go right to the printer after the campaign is over. Excellent. It will be in demand, but once the campaign is over, go right to the printer and get it out to you as fast as I possibly can.
So let's get it over to 3K so it can go in demand.
There you go. And the last thing is I will sign every comic book, and Lenore King, who did the
variant,
the pinup, she did the pinup. She will sign every pinup.
Oh, awesome.
Excellent. Congratulations, man. It's looking good. You'll be on my channel too. We're going to push this. We're going to make it happen.
Thank you.
And if not, hunt me down and kill me. Because that's what it kicks out.
Adam
Blood Hunt 2. The Revenge on Adam Post.
Yeah. Actually, that might be a good comic book. So I think I'll get I'd get revenge, artistically, not literally.
Okay, that's fair.
There needs to be there should be a Blood Hunt and College of the Dead crossover where the assassin is like coming to the college to take out all the zombies.
Yeah. Or Adam, you could buy the $300 tier where in issue 2 you get the dagger thrown into your eye, so we could just have that covered, the revenge covered, just in case.
I don't like that getting killed stuff, and that if you get to like make out with the superhero girl, that's cool.
Dude, now that's
I had one guy.
That should be a tier. That's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
It's a great idea. I had one guy on Cecil who said he wanted to be Cecil's channel the other night. He wanted to be drawn in and with a
molesting Cecil,
having sex, but wanted it to be with another guy. And I'm like, I'd actually consider that if it would be worth a couple $100. So.
Yeah,
sometimes you got to tilt. Sometimes you could just say that. Sometimes you got to tilt here.
Yeah, a couple of the drawn-in tiers that I have on my campaign right now are for seats at the strip bar.
I don't know. I'm killing half a CG in Blood Hunt.
So put them on.
Yeah, no one is safe in Blood Hunt.
Yeah, no, everybody's dying in that book.
I had fun.
They're dying.
All right, I actually do need to go. My kid's chomping at the bit here.
All right, Doc.
I'm actually going to have a Sunday morning show tomorrow at 11 a.m. My first one. Rob Casey, Cyborg USA, will be my guest. And then David Feed is going to be on our Tuesday Indie Comic stream on Tuesday to talk about his book. Really looking forward to that. And last thing, here's my cute kid to say bye-bye. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have fun at the airplanes.
Bye.
Thank you, Adam, for having us on. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Have a great weekend.
Book now.
All right.
All right, so in the transition, I want to ask everybody an opinion. I'm pretty sure I already know the answer. It's just coincidence, but through all these, I get a little over opinionated sometimes, and I got myself a refund during that time process. But the refund came from the UK. I'm wondering if they're at all.
Oh, you know what? Honestly, if you want to message me the name directly, I'll tell you if it's the same guy. It might be because I got a refund. I get very, very, very few refunds, which is great.
Initial KC.
Well, without even getting into that, because who even knows, and it could be someone's personal situation. If you want to message me, privately, we can. But yeah, I think we're talking about the same cat.
Okay,
then people just
I was just wondering if
have things happen. The state
because it was timed at the same time. I was at first I was wondering if it was associated, but then obviously
no, I would think I was washing my hair at the time.
They're UK, so if it's probably not. So
Yeah, it's not. It's not. But that actually makes me realize, like, yeah, I mean, it's going to happen sometimes. And look, people are going through a lot right now, and it just happens. So
I understand refunds for that because there's especially because the financing, finances around the world is changing dramatically right now. You know what I mean? So I can understand that kind of stuff happening right now.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
I,
But no,
I was more concerned. It's like, it's like, should I keep my mouth shut more often?
No,
Should
don't
I,
keep your mouth
my
shut.
tongue back and
God
not say
forbid.
what I think?
I don't think you said anything that was refund worthy in your boring ass rant.
Right.
You got a refund right now. During this rant about
I know, I'm
smoke and
refunding.
stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just joking.
Yeah, somebody is going through a time financially, and it happens. So there's a lot of ways to support campaigns. You guys watch Adam AF's channel all the time, so you know this. The first way you retweet the campaign is just by liking or retweeting the campaign. An encouraging statement like, hey, this looks cool. If it's something you really do think looks cool to the creator, we freaking love those. Ethan Van Sciver gets thousands of those. We only get, a few here and there. In my case, only like maybe 500 a day. But it was a joke.
That's not bad.
Slight exaggeration. I did get some G.I. Jackrabbits fan art, which I will share with you guys if you haven't seen that by Eric Huffle. So that was like freaking awesome. But anyway, yeah, but no, you got to be yourself no matter what it is. And, we don't share backer information under any circumstances ever.
No.
But supporting people's campaigns, you're retweeting, you're liking. If you have the money and you can afford to back it, we'd love for you to back it. If you have a lot of money because God blessed you that way, then back at the highest tier and send us tons of cash because it helps us make more comics. But we appreciate and respect everybody that we get to interact with.
Amen.
Except Shimura. I don't hold or appreciate.
I don't hold even one refund against anybody. So like if you refund Captain Love, you know what I mean? It's like, and you want it back later or whatever, that's fine. I just want you guys to understand that I'm more concerned like if I'm like offending people and like losing customers over it. That's what all that.
You're not.
So.
Are you gonna offend someone anytime?
Well, it's gonna
anyway,
happen. Yeah, because I'm an opinionated fucking asshole. So
yeah, that is all true. But it has
this is Comicsgate. Most of us are.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not the most opinionated asshole. That's definitely true. But.
AMC refuses to play Universal films after Troll. Oh, big baby! What a big baby! No, I don't want to play your films no more.
Aren't they going bankrupt anyway?
Motherfucker, why don't you open your fucking movie theaters? Oh, they're not open? What do you think they're going to do? Of course they're going to sell direct to consumer like we're doing, and they're going to make money. Trolls made huge. Trolls 2, huge bucks, right, Adam?
Well, yeah, it's a family film. I mean, fuck, we rented it, threw down the $20 for the 2-day. I think it was a 2-day rental, like 48 hours. Watched it, I think twice, if not 3 times. My kid loves Trolls. Everybody's stuck at home inside right now, and it was still $20 for a 2-day rental. Is still a whole hell of a lot cheaper than 3 people going to the movie theater. So it was a bargain in all honesty. But yeah, AMC, I think, is definitely being big babies.
Dude, for the life, it's been a while that going to the movies is not a family outing anymore. It depends
on the family. It depends on the family. My ex, let me just say, my ex has 2 daughters, and we probably went to go see everything in the theater, and then she would still get it on DVD afterwards. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Seriously.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is family outing
in the theaters.
Going with like 2 adults, two kids, it's almost $100 now.
Yeah, you got 4 kids in your household, Sim.
Yeah,
because it's because there's also the popcorn and the soda and the candy.
Dude, the last time
I smuggled that shit in under my coat.
The last time I took the entire family to the movies, dude, it cost me $150.
Damn.
We're 6, and you go there, you go to the movies, a little drink, the popcorn, and
Michael Beacon in the chat, he says the Trolls movies look unbearable. They're not that bad.
And now
there's way worse kids movies out there than the Trolls ones.
And now they make sure that when you have to go, you either go to IMAX or one of those thing that the movie is like $15 a pop even for a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, the full immersive
IMAX is
experience.
crazy expensive, but and the experience isn't even all that like extra. You know what I mean?
It's
That's
okay.
one thing.
But it just goes up to prove that the more you charge them at theater, they don't. I was just going and supporting what Adam said. $20 to be able to watch it like 2-3 times with your kid for 2 days. It's way cheaper than going to the movies now. So there's a lot of
your own
people.
popcorn.
Yeah, there's a lot of people waiting for that now. It's the mentality that people are having is like, oh, I'll wait till I can just rent it from home.
Yeah, it's
Well,
also
I mean,
cheaper
they
now.
already have like environments that are completely like movies that are done with a 3D environment camera. So they actually have started shooting those sometimes. And the what's cool about that is it's actually set up to where everybody who watches the movie puts on like a little bit of like a headset thing. The problem is that the headset's not very viable. It's not very commercial yet. Like people can't cuddle with them because it doesn't work right. But when they master that technology, most people will be watching movies at home and there won't even be a television set. They'll just be wearing a fucking headset.
Yeah, but it's also
You think
something
so? I
that
think they're so uncomfortable that they're never gonna catch on.
No, it's got to become commercially viable, and eventually it will. I mean, it may not be for another fucking 30, 40 years, but eventually, yeah. I mean, if you think about how technology moves forward, it may not be I mean, it may not kill, regular broadcast flat screen TV because because if you're not really watching TV, if TV's in the background, you know what I mean? You just look every once in a while, the flat screen will always be the first choice. It's kind of like how there's still radio broadcasted, on your because when you're driving, a lot of people want to listen to just whatever's on the radio. It's just there's different tastes. Things will always exist, but the 3D world they're already trying to like break the levels. It's just that the problem is having a device that is commercially viable. That means that people can wear it comfortably. They can, it'll work no matter what they're doing. You know what I mean? They can engage and disengage very easily. There's a lot of things that a lot of thresholds they haven't been able to cover yet. I'm excited to see what they do with it because 3D environment viewing is fucking awesome, dude. I mean, I've seen some really cool stuff that I got to sample, but it's fucking just like unbearable to wear the headset for like
wear the helmet. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So David, good
I
question.
just want to answer Kino Subway's question. Yes, Reverend Adam can marry him. I can marry his girlfriend, and I can marry him and his girlfriend. He asked that question because of the ability to marry people. Or I'm on the East Coast. I'll do the Commonsgate weddings on the East Coast, and Drew will do them on the West Coast.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I can do Commonsgate weddings.
That actually would be a very big platform building thing to be like, yeah, we're gonna Rabbi Adam or whatever my nickname. We're gonna marry this couple
through the internet.
Yeah. Through YouTube, exactly.
I'd watch that. I'd watch the hell out of
can do
that.
it through YouTube.
A
Yeah,
CG wedding through the web.
CG wedding.
That's cool.
By a CG member.
I don't see why you couldn't. As long as the marriage licenses are signed and taken care of.
I mean, it would be,
That's
of course,
exactly what it's about. I mean, it's because in the United States, it's all about the paperwork, and an ordination is not something that requires like 1,000 years of schooling. It just requires a legit
check for $20.
But we're also stuck in a system where they make more money now off of failure. It's becoming that they need one blockbuster to make a lot of money, and the other ones is just quick movies. They're failed, and they make money off the insurance.
Sim's trying to steer the conversation away from
back to the
movies.
So, David, you have a book coming out soon?
Maybe I do.
Right?
David seems like a very nice guy.
We got sketch therapy. We've confused him. He said, "You're a pastor and just got here. Is it an internet thing?"
No, but El Pastor is fucking amazing, though.
Scheme and a scam. David Fried. We've been on Twitter together, and he's got a campaign going right now. David, what is your campaign? Are we talking about that yet?
We are.
I've been trying.
We haven't talked about that yet.
I've been trying to get there.
Red Eye.
You gotta get the entertainment in there. You gotta get the entertainment in there as well. It can't just be straight chill streams. People get bored as fuck.
I agree.
I agree.
Yes, here it is. Red Eyes by
You gotta
David
earn
Feed.
that.
I haven't heard about that one.
Everybody back Red Eyes. Okay, no, sorry, go back. Give the control back to the other Adam, the original OG Adam.
I knew you'd fucking come in here and try to usurp the show away from me. Damn it.
Yeah. You Adam as fuck.
I thought we were doing a story about movies.
All right, David. Now is your time to shine. Tell us about Red Eyes.
So, Red Eyes. The pitch is very simple. This is like Conan the Barbarian, but with guns. It's a dark fantasy saga, and it's set in a world where, you know, the Industrial Revolution happened, but there's also magical creatures, there's also magic. And it's basically a very, how do you say, if you've ever watched a very old movie called The Dirty Dozen, it's more or less in that vibe.
Yeah, that's a great film.
Yes, I know it. I love that. And even though it's like pretty old, no? It's like 1967, I think.
Classic.
And so the
classic. It's a classic war film. Yeah.
Yeah. Like a friend of mine, my brother-in-law showed it to me. I had no idea about it, and he was like, "You have to see this old movie." And I was thrilled, you know. And I said, this movie reminds me a lot of Inglourious Basterds. Like, I feel like Quentin Tarantino took a lot of inspiration from that movie.
Well, I mean, you got to think. Like, I can just like drop the names off of memory. We got with Lee Marvin, Telly Savalas, Charles Bronson, Ernest Borgnine, fucking Jim Brown was in that one. Donald Sutherland was in that. Who else was in that? George Kennedy. I mean, I imagine if Christgau was here, he'd be like,
oh yeah,
maybe the whole cast.
Same thing. I was like, oh, where's Brian Christgau when you need him?
Exactly. Yeah, that was my weak memory. He probably knows the entire casting. Could drop names that you'd be like, oh yeah, really? He was in it too. Holy shit! Yeah, he was.
Yes, like a lot of people who they're super young in that movie, but then I would know them in when they were pretty old. And I said, oh, right, there's what he was already. Well, anyway, I saw that movie like 5 years ago or more, and it really impressed me, and it influenced this project as well. So what you can see there is this a group of 9 heroes that are on a desperate mission, deep behind enemy lines, with no hopes of retreat, no hopes of getting any support, almost like a suicide mission. And yep. So the guy in the middle, that would be the hero, the protagonist, who is basically, he used to be a spoiled rich brat who always got away with stuff because his father was the leader of the insurrection these 9 people belong to. Until one day he screwed up beyond belief, and in order for him to atone for his sins and cowardice, if you like, he's sent on this, he's drafted into this basically suicide mission. And so that's more or less the spiel. So issue number 1 is like when this 9, well, not all of them are already there, but it's how the mission starts and how they get together. And the mission starts where the book starts where they are already in the middle of a mission, and we start to find out that it's a suicide mission and why some of them were drafted into this mission. Yeah,
cool.
This is a really cool concept, and the artwork's fantastic on this.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I have to say that the 2 biggest inspirations for this story, one of them is obviously The Dirty Dozen, and the other one is an episode from Tales from the Crypt called Yellow, which is about World War I. I don't know if anyone of you have seen that episode, but I think it's one of the more famous episodes from Tales from the Crypt. And it's basically about this yellow guy who's basically a coward, but he happens to be the son of the general. And so he gets away with a lot of stuff until he can't get away anymore with that stuff. So those are the 2 biggest inspiration for this project.
How many pages? How many pages are you planning for this?
So the first episode is going to be 37 story pages.
Mm-hmm.
The book is going to be 46 pages with all the extras and stuff.
Cool.
And episode 2, we are already at 44 pages, story pages.
Cool. Now, you know the way Indiegogo works. This is your first 30 days in the campaign, so you can extend this also if you want to, right?
Yeah.
You did it first for 30 days. But it looks like you're on your way to making your goal. But the more
I'm already half there, so woo!
Good, man. It's good. Yeah, once you get started, once you start shipping books, you're going to be good to go. Are you in the United States? Are you?
I'm in Switzerland, actually.
Ah, okay. Wow.
So we're gonna be printing from Switzerland, and we're gonna be printing from the States to keep, the shipping costs to the States at zero.
Excellent.
That's what
Oh, that's
CG
a good
likes.
call. Yeah.
Yeah, so my sister lives in LA, so we're in talks about that. To
Oh,
have it printed
very nice.
There you go. You got to
get.
get that family in for slave labor rates, man.
Of course.
You don't want to pay labor. You don't want to pay
If I
labor.
already have a
That's,
sister, they're
that's,
like,
that's the
"Hey,
best argument for having children is the free labor.
It is.
Oh,
It
you
very
think
much
that's for
is.
your
yeah, more or less.
So what do you get here? Your featured perk, Dungeon Master perk. It looks like you got 3 books here.
So the deal is that so I'm with the campaign. It's the issue 1, and there's going to be an Ashcan of issue 2. And for the feature perk is that I don't know. There's this guy Raging Golden Eagle, and he was talking about making a bestiary, a sexy monster girl bestiary. And I was like, hell yeah, I want to do that too. So I already so this story, it's been in the making for years now. And when I was studying biology before I started studying design. And when I was in biology, I started doing like a whole lexicon, a whole bestiary of all the monsters in this fantasy world. I thought, you know what? I'm gonna do a sexy monster girl bestiary with all the monsters I already created. And that book is only available in the Dungeon Master perk.
Do you have interior art from that in the campaign?
Not yet. I'm working on it right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I know I should put that like right away.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity because a couple of good images, people will be like, "All right, great, I'm getting this." They'll buy it for the one image.
I agree 100%.
Yes, I'm. You're absolutely right. Yes.
It was right even before he agreed, but he's right to agree. Oh, look at that chicken!
The poor, yeah, that's the
That's
poor
a
little
big
cock
chicken.
got a beating, if you like.
Big chicken.
That's a big cock. So this is the
Huge
interior art.
Yep.
So a little bit different from the cover, but I really like the coloring style on here is fantastic.
Yeah, also the inker, the artist, is the same for the cover and the interiors, and the colorist for the cover is a friend of his, and the colorist for the interiors is a girl from Slovakia, and she's just pretty. And that image was done entirely by her, by the colorist.
This one here.
Uh-huh.
It's awesome, dude. I see some boobage here, in this panel here.
That's a little bit covered, as you see, but yeah. Also, this book is going to be rated R.
That's what I was looking for.
Like a good old R movie. It's a lot of action. There may be some gruesome scenes every now and then, and some very mild nudity. Let's put it that way.
So what inspired you to do this book in 3 languages?
Oh, I speak German and I speak how do you say Spanish? So Spanish and German are my mother tongues. And say, hey, if I already speak those, then I might as well translate it myself. And I've worked as a translator also to Spanish, and so it's like I would be dumb not to do it, And I want to try it out. You see if it works, and if it doesn't work, then
Yeah, I was thinking of trying the same thing for the digital version to do a French and Spanish version.
Yeah. Also, right now, I had like several perks with digital and standard perks with the different languages, but they were clogging the entire Indiegogo page. So I decided to put them hidden, and anyone who wants them, they can message me, and I'll send them the link to the Spanish digital or Spanish standard.
That's actually kind of a good call. You don't want, take the your boy Zach method, minimize your tiers as much as possible. You don't want an entire store where it just keeps going down and down and down. You're like, good Lord, you got 15 perks. I think simple is better in most cases. But man, this is a really cool looking project. I like the concept. The art looks fantastic. I'm definitely going to have to put this one on my list. And you got 15 days left of your first 30, so you do have the option to extend.
We will.
Okay.
Obviously extend,
But yeah, this is a cool book. We need to get some more eyes on this. It sounds like you're starting to hit up the circuit a little bit. When you messaged me, you said you had been on White Cat Comics channel.
Oh, cool.
I've been on a couple of channels and like really just presenting the project. I was in 3. I was with Mandy. I was with Alasmat. Alasmat was the first who gave me the chance to be there to promote my book. Straight up just promoting my book.
Cool.
And then I was with Mandy, with Alasmat, and with Raging Golden Eagle.
Oh, excellent.
Nice. So you're starting to hit up that circuit.
I just sent you a link to another 15 or 20 channels. Some of them you've been on, but some of them you haven't. So you can hit those guys up too. And I think you'll do well.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will. Thank you, man.
Of course, of course. Yeah, we all have to help each other. That's how we build up Comicsgate and get it successful.
Yeah. Speaking of helping each other, Michael Beacon says, I've got 10 siblings and 10 nieces and nephews. Fulfillment will be a breeze.
Good job, man.
Beacon's going to be running a little sweatshop in his basement when he gets to fulfilling time.
Me and him, we've been discussing. We're helping each other fulfill it. I got kids. He has a family. We're good.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
That's good. Sketch Therapy says, you stand on the shoulders of greatness if you deliver on time because you have benefited from the lessons the pioneers laid out while scouting new lands for us. Don't use what you learn to look down on them.
Oh, no. I'm so grateful. Like I've been, it's amazing the support I've been getting and the help. Like people from the chat just contacted me and they started sending me messages on the campaign and on my mail. Just let him, I know this and this and this and this guy you may not know. Here's the link to the channel. One guy was even telling me, like you got this mistakes in the German part. Like it actually says he's from Germany. And he was telling me, we say it like this. And it's crazy the sort of support that you get from the chat and from the people on Twitter and from everyone around the CG scene. It's amazing. I'm insanely grateful for that.
Very cool.
Yeah, everybody wants to help out. I think that's one of the things that sets Comicsgate apart from just the indie comic, realm. There's indie comics that are essentially trying to do what Comicsgate is doing. They don't want to be a part of Comicsgate because of obviously, we've got a lot of negative branding that has come out against us, which none of it has ever been true. But
what's funny, Adam? It seems like the thing is they don't like the ego based on merit thing. There are people that get involved with we are a network and we are like a family almost. We're people that belong to the same thing. And you have like a couple of other creators that came in and they were just in it for their own ego and they were in it for their own success. And the world would not revolve around them. The world only revolves around the community of the group. And there are people that based on merit are the guys who sell the most books. And that's just kind of the way it is. So you have to appreciate and respect that they sell the most books. But it's a great system. The other indie publishers, like even guys who we really care about, we don't care about them. I care about Billy Tucci and I would help him any way he wanted, but he's just he's not in the immediate circle of guys. So I don't worry about him making his goal. I'm more concerned about you hitting a number, about you getting another $1,000 and hitting your goal, because I just am, because you're part of Comicsgate, than I am concerned if Billy makes another 10,000 or 50,000 or whatever it is.
Yeah. I mean, you got, your boy Zach who just launched the third installment of Jawbreakers yesterday. I'm not worried about that campaign. I want to promote these little guys. It's as Edwin the Ace likes to call them, phase 3. The up and coming guys, the new unknowns that, have a dream to make comic books and they come over to Comicsgate to make books. I want to see you guys succeed 100%. Yeah. Look at you, Adam Post. You're I think a great example of a good success story. You launched
Adam Post.
You launched your first campaign. You did well. You got funded. You got the book out. Everybody liked it. You launched your second campaign, and I mean, you're over $20,000. You're approaching $22,000 right now.
For sure. Yeah,
I think it's amazing how Comicsgate projects are making more money on the second book than the first one. Usually, with movies and books and what have you, the first one is the one that makes the most money. But here's the other way around. It's like people are starting to know, okay, this guy delivers. He has a cool story.
Exactly.
Project 2 comes along and more people are, jumping in. You know, the
Yeah,
same
this-
I thought with Graveyard Shift, like I was surprised that the second one made so much more money than the first one.
Graveyard
But
Shift
it probably
did
makes
amazing.
sense. No?
Yeah, I mean, he did what did he do? 200,000 on the second one, and then another 75. It was huge.
I don't know. I know he did make more. I don't know the numbers exactly.
Yeah, and then he'll launch 3 very soon after he ships 2. He knows what he's doing. Somebody
He
was
knows what he's
commenting.
doing. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, somebody was commenting today, like, "Oh, I'm not going to get Graveyard Shift 3 until he ships number 2." It's like, yeah, he's not going to launch Graveyard Shift 3 until he shipped 2. He understands how the business works. That's how he's gotten all this money.
That's the thing. Like,
Sketch
people
wants to be.
criticizing- oh, sorry.
Sorry, it's just real quick here. Sketch wants to be clear that he's not talking about you. He is saying that don't be like Roe, who benefited from everyone else's mistakes, and then goes in his chat to tell everyone to demand compounded interest on late books per refund. All about refund. He's talking about Roe and Mitch Breitweiser. When I highlighted that comment before, he was not speaking of you. He wanted that to be clear.
He said Roe is related. Roe is the guy who started War Campaign, I guess. I mean, I don't know the whole history. That's who Roe is. And there are, so basically there are people that are in the group that, you know, it's kind of like self-police the group. You're not going to get bothered by it, I'm sure. But yeah, so there's just drama that's not related to you, and also just related to stroking personal egos, to be honest with you.
No, we're
I
not.
heard the whole drama with the rooster thing, that apparently the War Campaign is stirring up. I mean, that's what War Campaign's always doing, stirring up drama. So
yeah,
we don't highlight drama
drama
around here. That's for Liam's channel.
Yeah, he's great at that.
Hey, we got Rotten Glory in the chat. He says, "Hail, it's too damn early for a wall of sketch." Damn.
Never too early for a wall.
Never too early for a wall of
Hey,
sketch.
Rotten, good to see you.
Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah, check this book out. Retweet it, share it out there, get some more eyes on this.
Yeah.
Where are you going next? Where can people? What's the next stream people can find you on?
Wait a minute, I have a list. I think the one of with Sim was the next one, or with Shy Zombie. I don't know. I have to check my list.
No, you're getting into the gang. Yeah. So you're part of the crew now. You'll do
I made a
well.
list because otherwise I would totally forget.
Yeah.
the
I
date, the
sent
time.
you a list. They're on there as well, so you can use my organized. Use my list if you want. There's some
Yeah.
great people on there. Vinny Turnamella, you got to connect with the Vin man.
And you could come on Doodle and Chill on the 17th. There's a whole.
But also the next one is also Adam AF. That's you.
That is
the next
me.
one would be Doc Hawk. That's on the 5th of May, and then Shy Zombie on the 9th of May. That's the next ones I've got already confirmed and talked and what have you.
One thing I will a little piece of advice.
Yeah.
You got to hit the live streams almost every single day when you've got an active campaign. It's the best way to get you yourself out there as a creator, because people like to purchase from people that they can talk to and engage with. That is a huge part of selling these books. And obviously, the more channels you go on, the broader the audience you're going to get. So it's a grind, but try to get on a stream every single day. Whoever will let you on, Adam Post, Matt Wenger, Red Gaze, Carla, obviously you've been on there, Shay Zombie. Hit up everybody. If there is somebody streaming on that day, do what you can to get on that show. And even if you're not really talking about the campaign, just to get yourself out there so people know who you are. Get to be a Comicsgate household name. And yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes. The only problem is that I have a regular normal job, so except for the days when I'm working, I'm like going every day on the YouTube looking, hey guys, can I come in? Here I am. Hey, putting
most
stuff
people
in the chat.
most people can relate to that. I mean, most of CG has a day job. Most of the creators in CG have day jobs. You know what I mean? There's something else that we do for a living, and we do the comics as passion projects until they can support themselves. So we all understand. I mean, in fact, the harder you like if the fact that you put yourself out, people will actually respect that more about you. You know what I mean? So just just do what you can. Let people know that you're that you're looking to increase your profile. You want to be on some shows. You know what I mean? And just good, foster goodwill, and it'll come back, man.
This is this brings up a good point too. Also, get in the chats, shake hands. Don't go into crap on peers. Go into
and that's what I was gonna say. Like you need to go on different people's channel, right? You need to hit them all up, but try and find yourself like a little group of people like that has a channel or show or something. Like sometimes Adam does with Rot 10. Like that people that you get along, that you like to hang. Like you'll be gaming at home if they were your neighbors or something. Yeah, so. That's easier to have a present regularly every day, and then you schedule like those 2-3
being part of a regular show, build your own channel. But part of a regular show, like I do the same thing on Tuesday nights and Thursday nights with Wayncast, which is and you wind up like you go on as a guest as a show, and if you click with somebody or people kind of know you around, then you get there more. But you seem like you really you've kind of been watching Comicsgate for a while then, right?
Yes, I've been watching, your voice, Captain Comics for a while then.
Oh, geez, that takes it back.
Well, I was not part of Video Game Gate?
The Gamergate?
Oh, Gamergate.
Yeah, I came late to that party. But I remember when the whole talk about this is like Gamergate and Gamergate, Comicsgate, and I wasn't really an active part of the chat, but I was looking at that stuff. And
cool.
I think, I got infected with the Indiegogo virus when your boy Zach started his first Patreon, small comics. And I was working on my comic ever since.
And, Sketch does make a good point. Don't forget hit the chats. Because, you may not be on there, but go interact. Like I do that often. Like sometimes, Adam knows, sometimes I'm in chats and I'm not even listening to the show. And I'm just chatting with people. Yeah.
Well, that's true.
The chat groups are they're like DM groups or forums. Sometimes you see people in there having whole conversations while other people are interacting with.
It has nothing to do with the video.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, hell, I see it. It happens on my streams, and I've got a small channel, but I'll still see 2 people or 3 people having a whole fucking discussion about something that has nothing to do with what's going on in the show or whatever. But hey, that's great. That's interaction. People come here to have a good time. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, and also when you see people you can recognize, people say hi to each other, hail to each other, hey, so it's just kind of fun to see people again. And customers appreciate that too. People who back the project. You see someone whose name they back the project. Oh, hey, Kino Subway, how you doing? Like just to say hi. You don't have to have a whole conversation either. That's how you get onto every channel every day, all day long. So if you happen to, and it's 24/7. People are doing shows at different times. So if you happen to have time to go into, I just sent you a list. You sub to all those channels. You probably are, but you sub to all those channels. Click the bell for notifications, and then you go on YouTube and see who's doing the stream. And that's something I learned more this second time around. I don't do it. I still don't do it as much as I could. Probably just get busy or whatever, but it's well worth it. Be like to see Vinny in a chat and say, "Hey, Vinny, how you doing?" People remember you. Then a lot of people are mods. I'm not a mod. I'm a mod on this channel. God knows why. Very dangerous. But a lot of
I think you were here one day when I had no other mods, so I was like, "All right, you're getting promoted."
You were desperate. You needed the money. So anyway, but when you say hi, especially to the mods know your campaign. And I'm always like surprised. People are just so freaking nice. Like Sim will see me. I'm like, hey, Sim. I really am just saying hi to him, but he's like such a good guy. He's always sharing my link out, for me. So that's another thing people will do for you in a chat. And that could be in a big chat. It could be in Ethan's chat.
Dude, scratch your back type of thing. Like it's one of the things that I've noticed. And you'll notice the main important thing for creators in CG is don't just promote yourself.
Yeah, it feels great to promote other people.
It feels great to promote other people. It feels great. Look, dude, I was fucking psyched when I saw Adam here have his full funding for College of the Dead 1. It was fucking.
Yeah, it was a grind.
Great.
Yeah, you take a personal investment in these campaigns.
Same thing with Captain Love. When he got back, it's a win. It's like,
but
you feel like you're part of the team.
You get attached to certain campaigns. I don't know. I have like what's the name? The Dragon Guards. I really like the inks on that one. I'm like, every time there's like something on that, like, well, yeah, you get excited with them as well.
Yeah, sometimes it's
you're
the book,
absolutely
and
right about
sometimes
that.
it's the person. Like I promoted Adam Bo's
Sim and
book
I
because
fell
I
in love
like
a long
Adam.
time ago. We
I'm
knew
not
each
a big
other
fan.
from before Comicsgate. We met at a convention and we fell in love 10 years ago. So that's
I didn't know that.
Yeah, 25
No.
years ago was the
No.
first meeting, and I was a kid and I had a crush on him. We met later, and I went like,
Yeah,
"Oh, Adam,"
it's because of G.I. Jackrabbit. No, that's not entirely true. That's not
No, it's
entirely
not.
true. But,
All the Comicsgate rumors now.
yeah, not entirely true. But Tim
Oh my
did
God.
promote me early. He was one of the first channels that I was on, and he introduced me to other people. So that's the thing too, that people that watch even the small shows, especially, those are Comicsgate influencers. They're customers, but they're also influencers. And when Adam AF, as he has, says, back Red Eyes, it's significant because it's an endorsement. Anybody, it's an endorsement, not just to other customers, but to other influencers. And then as a network effect, I knew none of this when I started with College of the Dead. I'm like, all right, I'll go on this channel. Like, these guys are nice. And, you be yourself.
and we spent hours in hangouts after show.
like a maniac, like maniacs.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to imagine that I am
But we're passionate
CG
people.
influencer.
Yeah,
passionate people.
But
We love comics.
But Adam, you definitely are. You definitely are.
It took me a long time to come to terms with that.
Yeah, it's the Woke Up Show. Dude, you didn't even realize that the Woke Up Show was like a ritual for CG every Saturday morning. I'm
Yeah,
like,
the
we
Woke
need
Up
to
Show's
wake up
great.
eventually.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No,
And one of the things that I like with the small, how do you say, groups, the small chats, the small creators, if you like, is that when you see like a big shot name or whatever, small, what have you, go on these small channels and, still behave decently in front of a small audience. That makes it so much more likable to someone.
Yeah.
Like if you
enjoy being there, and it is great to be there. These are great people, and it's really weird that it's strange to think that there's so many people like us that appreciate the same sort of things. But also, I think it's because the Comicsgate experience and enjoying making the comics, enjoying backing the comics, meeting the creators, different personalities, seeing people succeed, being involved in their success, because like Sim was definitely involved in my success early on, helping to promote me. It's like, it's a great thing. And I still at Sim to retweet me on Twitter and things like that. Because it's like, every now and then you're like, all right, I've been bothering these other people. Who am I looking for? Who's going to retweet me and not give me shit about it? Like, oh, this guy. And then guess what? Obviously, anytime I see something of Sim's, I'm promoting Sim's. So
that's literally how I gained followers on Twitter, was just retweeting projects. I seen what Tinfoil Hat Nick was doing, with his promotions, and I took it upon myself it's like, I can do that. That's easy. Start retweeting and promoting projects that, I've backed and that I'm a fan of. And all of a sudden I've got followers roll. It took me a year to gain like 600-700 followers in a year.
It's the same thing I say to every creator, like, artist, switch up your warm-up sketches, your little exercise, switch it up to a CG character. And there you go, fan art. You share that, you put the link to the freaking campaign, you help promote them.
Yeah,
I had a lot of messages from people that were like, dude, as soon as you shared that thing, I had some backers. It's freaking awesome. And
if we're discussing channel building strategies. I mean, with CG, we have the capability to follow the easiest model, and that is reach across, reach down, build people, help people smaller than us build their platform. I mean, we can't help people bigger than us build their platform.
Dude, you can't build a strong foundation if you just invest in one pillar. Yeah, you do have to build other people up.
Yes, you got to spread the love, because here's the thing. Here's the logic why. So, like, when little channels get bigger, they usually find new people. You know what I mean? That there's always the more people, more fingers you have out there reaching for new fans, the more fans that get pulled into the overall audience. So all of us, from Ethan all the way down to people who have 10 subscribers right now, all across the board, we all benefit from new people coming into Comicsgate. So the only way we can keep that happening is if we can, all of us are reaching out to new markets, but also reaching out to each other and supporting each other and sharing fan bases to help everybody grow their channel. Because if we just focus on our own channel and on ourselves, we get stuck in a box, and then you'll watch everybody will pass right by us.
Yeah, and it's not just that. It's like, there might be a book that you're not interested in, right? But somebody that follows you, one of your fan, will be very grateful that you retweeted it because it's their thing.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. If
Terrible when you do it, but
if you can
you
get
do it,
one
you know.
other person to back a book, you've done a great service to that campaign.
It's not just for the campaign owner that you're doing, it's also for your backers also. It's like, I know that the people that are backing my book, they're looking for other books. So hey, if they're into horror, well, they might like Adam Post's book.
Absolutely.
Right? They might like and that's how it has
some
to go.
people are huge zombie fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Huge zombie fans. Adam Post needs to freaking find those. Here's the thing. Obviously, zombies is something that's worked because, see, Adam Post like pretty much was hardcore on the zombies first. You know what I mean? And now there's 2 or 3 books that are like completely zombie related that are coming out. So, you know what I mean? It's that kind of stuff happens. And now people who are looking for zombies, because they're going to find Adam Post, and then Adam Post is probably, sharing these other zombie books.
Yeah. Doomsday Kingdom is one of them.
Right.
And they helped me. I was on their channel. They promoted me too.
And then think about, GI Jackrabbits. You know what I mean? It's like, how many people are going to freaking, love the whole, like, concept of GI Joe and animals and
Ninja Turtles.
Basically,
G.I. Joe means the Ninja Turtles.
Look at the fan art I did of the Monster Hunter versus the Monster for Hire, just for the hell of it, because I know that people that like Blood Hunt will love Duck Salem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, speaking of GI Jackrabbits and fan art, we have this piece that Adam sent over from Eric Hutfels. It's a nice little crossover Cyberfrog GI Jackrabbits piece. This is really cool.
Yeah, Ethan liked it. Ethan said he thought the Cyberfrog drawing was real good, and he said Salamandroid is way too small. He would throw that Jeep over.
He is a little small.
And I did the
But,
George Romero one for your College of the Dead, didn't I? Yeah.
I'm just wondering what the GI Jackrabbits did to piss off Cyberfrog.
Well, that's what my co-writer on it, Professor Geek, was saying. He thinks they'd be friends. But the GI Jackrabbits have a tendency to try to grab up alien tech. It's part of what mutates them.
So I got you. So the Jackrabbits are attacking Cyberfrog first.
They could be stealing some shit. They could be doing some sketchy shit, some anti-CG stuff even. There are good GI Jackrabbits. There are good GI Jackrabbits, and they're kind of bad rebel GI Jackrabbits. So yeah, it gets pretty kind of involved. But yeah, this is just an idea. Eric Huffles is awesome. He did this, and Ethan really liked it, and I shared it with him on the stream yesterday, and he liked it. It was fun. Yeah, I actually have a great story for a crossover with GI Jackrabbits in the Cyberfrog universe, but we got to get GI Jackrabbits 1 done first, and then if you want, then we'll see what happens. But always prove yourself first. That's my game.
When's your tentative launch for GI Jackrabbits?
August this year, because the script is fully done, and we start getting the roughs next week, and then finals the week after. So yeah, it's coming fast. It's going to be great, but I'll get the book done in advance first. And Dan Fraga said he wants to do a cover, so we have to talk about that.
Oh, that's
My
awesome!
goodness, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Whoa.
he's got it because he bought it back in the day.
Congratulations! Yeah.
I know GI Jackrabbits. I bought all these animal books. Like
I had it when I was younger too. Yeah.
Oh, you had GI Jackrabbits too?
I had an issue or two. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Very cool. This is College of the Dead, by the way. This is what I'm working on now. That is the campaign. College of the Dead, it's full color. It's 48 pages. It continues the story, but you don't have to have the first book, but you can get it if you want from this campaign. This time it's full color. It continues the story of college students being attacked by zombies on campus. And I went ahead and made it full color this time. It's 6 panels per page. It's good. It's 48 pages. It's completely done. We have
That cover is awesome, man. I gotta say.
Yeah, we worked really, really closely. Kyle Ritter was helpful, kind of giving art direction, and the color came out great. We also made this narwhal cover, which is we call it college bound because it's earthbound, zombified. This is a panel from Earthbound that was remade to be zombified for the cover. So the prototype books are done. We even made ash cans and art books. The ash can is something that we did in the first campaign, and I wasn't going to do it again for this campaign, but I'm like, people asked for it, and it came
give
out
the customers
great.
what they ask for.
You have to give the customers what they want. So it's the full script and the rough layouts that the artist did that we then approved to make the book, and it's really, really educational to kind of get an understanding of how the book gets made. We also have cover layouts in the book to kind of show how we went from concept through each of the stages of approval to the final black and white piece of how we made the Party Attack cover and a couple of the other covers in there as well. So it kind of looks neat. But we also have the art book, which is 8.5 by 8.5 on glossy paper. It is the whole story done in black and white before we colored it and before it was lettered. And they did it just unbelievable job with it. These are incredibly expensive to print, but they're worth it because it's kind of like a really neat coffee table book. So it's part of the campaign. You can get it as an add-on or as part of a set. The coffee table art book is 260 pages.
Wow.
And it's huge. It's 260 pages, and it's $35. And the ash can is $25, and each of the books are $25. So and then I've been sending out links, and hopefully most of the people have gotten them. Anybody who's already backed the campaign is able to add any of the books for free shipping, because we're already shipping a box. I don't want to charge people twice. I know that, and I don't mean to down anybody else who's running a campaign that then someone wants to add something on and they say they kind of can't do it. The logistics are a pain in the neck, but I've invested in some software, and it's making it relatively straightforward to be like, okay, we can add extra product as we go.
That's really good.
Love to have that, the ash can of book too. That looks like an awesome learning material.
Yeah, it's incredibly educational. Stefan Petruka, who writes my scripts for College of the Dead with me, he's a professor at a college, and he teaches writing, and he deeply understands comics, has done a lot of professional work in the past. And for me, I kind of go with experienced pros on almost everything, because they really know what they're doing, and it makes it much easier to just do excellent work. Just honestly, because with me, there's skill sets I have, and I help people produce great work, but it's always better to have somebody who just know how to do really great work. We've already done the script for College of the Dead 3. So this book is shipping in June. All editions ship June 2020 on time. And then book 3 is College of the Dead Spring Break. And it's going to be freaking awesome. The script is great.
That's a good name.
Well, and you know what's really awesome about that is that on the I'm pretty sure that was the launch party that we had on your channel for this book. We spitballed ideas for the title for book 3. Like we had people in the chat were throwing out ideas and everything, and we did it all live on air. I think it was a really cool experience for anybody who was watching. They got to literally see some of the development process for book 3.
Yeah, and it's as easy as that. Is exactly it. As you kind of think about, like, well, we don't want to just bang something out. We want something that's going to be really good that we can get excited about. And part of it is, you're going to be when you're promoting and publishing your comics through Comicsgate on YouTube, social media, you have to legitimately, sincerely be excited about what you're doing. And I got more used to that.
Like, people can tell if you're being, dishonest. So be like, oh my god, okay, hi Chad. Oh, this guy. Let me halfway read his name. Thank you. Man.
I'm going to be really excited about talking about. Yeah, man.
Like a good example is Adam, and I have like a whole bunch of my friends that have seen me working on Blood Hunt. Right, they've seen just looking at the Blood Hunt stuff, and they've seen me working on it for a while. But when I came out with the new pages of Not the Merc, people could see in it that I was having more fun.
Yeah.
they could. It came out of it. It's like, dude, it's like you're like, yeah. It's like I'm playing with my toys. It's like it feels good.
Yeah,
people can tell when you're excited. Like no matter how much you want to hide it, people say, no, your passion is there.
And they're people. It's not that they're judging you. They just want to be part of that. They want to feel that. You know, that's what part of what they're paying for is that they're kind of enjoying you doing it.
But I think it's the magic of CG is the fact that I'm sorry, like it's something I didn't think I would like that much. The live interaction with the fans and the promoters and other creators, the exchanges that we have, like it's like an instant rendering when you're doing 3D. You can really see what you're working on is good or not. You could have feedback even before the book is out.
Yes, yeah. No, it's how do you say when you I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Oh, that happened.
Like yes, of course. Sorry. Go on.
Yeah, I mean it's just one of those things that that's again sets Comicsgate apart from everything else out there. You know, you even see some of the pros in this downtime of Pencils Down, have tried to dip their toes into YouTube, and they just don't know how to make entertaining or engaging content. And we do, and it's stuff like that. You know, live developments. Narwhal does his like writer's room where they will, they'll spitball story ideas and do outlines and breakdowns and stuff like that. And it's something you can't get anywhere else.
Yeah, it's a fun experience. It's really exciting. And I've worked with a lot of creative people, and being able to kind of just work and that's actually a really safe thing to do. It particularly works for College of the Dead because people have idea about sororities and, other things you could do in college and college. What the hell are we doing? Like studying overseas and things like that. There's all sorts of stuff you can do. And just playing around with a title is you're not really getting deep into the story. So that's something you can kind of use.
Yeah.
I love your tagline, where college costs you an arm and a leg. That's that's going to be one of the best pitches of a CG project I've ever read. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's because another CG creator was telling me, like, come on, you can come up with something cool and, make sure it's interesting. It was Carlo Rowe was from Deathsworn was pushing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I did some research. I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh, you know what? Yeah, this is. I'm like, Carl, what do you think of that? Think of this. He's like, all right, that's actually great.
Nailed it.
Go with that.
Yes, you nailed it.
But we push each other to do like our best work. It's great. But you don't get that. You just don't get it without a community of people working together. It's just you don't get it separately. You only get it together, and everybody benefits.
Yep.
And it's going to be merit based. Merit. I'm going to sell as much as I sell. There are other people that are doing really well. There are people that are doing not as well. It's just, and then also like this is just one book. There'll be another book after this book.
It's also your market. Your target audience. It's not the same as everybody. It's like Cyberfog, the target audience. It's pretty much all ages, like 13 up. I would say, like it's pretty much all ages, though.
Yeah, it's an all
Adam's
ages book.
Zombie book. Not everybody likes zombie books.
Yeah, I get people that'll say like, when are you going to do anything else other than zombies? I really don't like zombies. I want to support whatever you're doing, and that's great.
There's big fan of zombies, and they want it as movies, right? They may not be interested in a book, but they're waiting for his next book.
Yeah, they'll be.
One thing with the passion that we were talking about before is that you should, if they tell you Pencils Down, and you say, okay, fuck it, I don't receive money, bye-bye, I'm not going to work. That's not the right attitude. You should have the attitude that when they tell you Pencils Down, you'd be like, no, I'm going to continue draw, I'm going to continue illustrating because that is my passion. That would be the right attitude about the
do your own thing. It's your opportunity to do your own thing. And
see, the problem is most of these people aren't creative enough to do their own thing. They can only play with other people's toys.
It's not just that they also lost connection and touch with the people, so they're not doing it for the people. It's a paycheck for them anymore.
Yes, that too.
It's not anymore a passion. It's not something they wake up going, "Oh, what am I going to do today?" Like remember what I used to say? I draw when I work. I draw when I'm sad. I draw when I'm fed up of fucking working drawing. I draw some more. I watch a movie and I'm always doodling.
Sim draws in his sleep.
that happened. You were there once.
Yeah.
I love drawing myself, but I'm more of the writer. I'm not that good at it. But I did made a few couple. You were talking about making fan arts and promoting other people.
Mm-hmm.
I did a few. I did one for Raging Golden Eagle.
Oh, cool.
Sweet.
I mean, how do you say? If I put share screen, you can see it, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Hit share screen and I can bring it up.
All right, boom.
I'll be back in a moment, guys.
Let me see how this works. Oh, I have to do some stuff before. Your entire screen, your application screen. No, your entire screen. Yeah. Oh, I have to do some setup before? What?
You shouldn't have to. You should be able to hit share screen, and then you can do your entire window, or like you can just hone in on.
Oh, but I have to ask you first. Like, if there is like boobies, would you get like instantly banned or something?
Probably, yeah.
Oh, okay, no. Well then. I guess
Yeah,
not.
we won't. We're not going to take that risk because YouTube has been really tight with stuff, and you can show like a barely boob and you can get taken down. I got taken down a couple weeks ago for an image that I thought was fine. There was no actual nudity on it, but because they were in a sexual position, it took me down.
Oh,
like almost instantly.
Damn. That I'm trying to remember that image though. Like that was,
the POG image.
Yeah, that was
Cure for Corona.
Yeah, but that was actual people, right? That wasn't.
It was.
Yeah, that makes the difference. Like, because I see like all kinds of like illustrated nudity on YouTube regularly, and that because it's illustrated, it's considered art. It's not like an issue unless it's like gross, obviously. But
I'd still honestly rather not take the chance.
There's also how you set up.
I don't blame you for not wanting to take the risk. I was just throwing that out there.
There's also how you set up your video. If he wants to do that, he would have to go on adults only.
That's all fine.
Adam dipped out, but we are actually out of time for today. I have muy importante things to take care of around here. We've got a birthday party for my little man in an hour. It's his birthday tomorrow. He'll be 3 years old. His golden birthday, as they say, 3 on the 3rd.
So he's another one of mine.
He's not a monster anymore.
He's
grown out of his 2-year-old face then.
Yeah, not yet. Yeah, not yet.
He's still a monster then.
Still a little monster. But of course we love him to death. So thank you guys so much for coming on. David, it was
for
great
the
meeting you.
opportunity. I have to say thank you very much for letting me come to your stream and chat, chat with you guys and the chat. Thank you, Adam. That's awesome.
You're gonna have to come on Doodle and Chill with us.
Yes,
we do that on Sundays. So what Sim, you said that we got the 17th open.
Yep.
So yeah, if you're available, Sunday the 17th, we start at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Come hang out with us. It's just a laid back doodle stream where we geek out and just have a good time. Nice, relaxing.
Sure, I'd love to. I mean, I love to draw. Like I said, I'm a writer. I'm not that much of a illustrator, but I love to draw. Like I'm like you, Sim. I'm drawing all the time, everywhere. And
well, we have Red Gaze, who is definitely not an artist. He actually uses MS Paint,
and he's turning into one of our Doodle and Chill heroes.
He is, yeah. Some of his work has been awesome. Fan favorites.
I think soon we're gonna start one of those CGAF collection book, right? Collecting all the CG fan art as fuck, right?
That would be great.
That was started by Calamari. We include all of the red ones.
Reds are great. Hello, awesome. Rat Kitty. Unfortunately, you were here just for the very end of our show, but thank you for dropping by. Hail the chat. Thank you all for tuning in. Absolutely make sure you tune into believe Red Gaze's channel tomorrow for Doodle and Chill. Monday nights we have a brand new show starting on Zaid Comics channel called The Hardline. I invite everyone to stop by and say hello. There's some more of those beautiful sketch cards.
Yeah, I finished the detailing on it.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Absolutely stunning work, dude. We're going to go ahead and call it there, and we will leave you with our wonderful goodbye song that Adam Sandler, another great Adam, has provided us with. And we'll see you next time.
Cheers.
We're never gonna shake hands again. Even a fist bump will be pretty rare. But we're never gonna shake hands again. If you go for a high five, you're gonna catch air. Say we're never gonna shake hands again. Elbow to elbow will take its place. No, we're never gonna shake hands again. Hugs will feel like you fingered my face. We'll have to settle for nod or a curtsy. I don't do chest bumps, cause those kinda hurt me. Not gonna bow like they do in the South. If you try to kiss my cheeks, I'll smack you in the mouth while wearing a glove, of course. We're never gonna shake hands again. But frankly, girls and boys, that's kind of okay. Cause shaking other people's hands is only super duper weird anyway. You know it's true.